A firm will also wish to know how its revenue is affected by some change in output. So for example, if we know how many cars per week are being produced, and we have an estimate of the demand function for the Rolls-Royce car, we can estimate the change in revenue if the company makes an extra, say, 5 cars a week. At least we can, if we have a grasp of elementary calculus. Here we'll use a little bit of calculus to look at the relationship between a firm's demand, where the firm has some monopoly power, and its revenue. First, let's think about the relationship between average revenue and marginal revenue. Now in this case, we've got a linear demand curve, so it has no power term. So the demand curve is given as P equals A minus BQ. So total revenue is price times quantity, TR equals PQ, which we could also call Q times A minus BQ, which is equal to, multiplying out the brackets, AQ minus BQ squared. Now dividing TR by Q gives AR. So AR equals A minus BQ. So we've now got a term for average revenue. But to find marginal revenue, we need to differentiate the total revenue function. So DTR by DQ equals A minus 2BQ. So MR has twice the slope of AR. Look at the diagram, and we can see diagrammatically what we've been saying mathematically. The demand curve, the average revenue curve, has a slope equal to minus B, but the marginal revenue curve has a slope of minus 2B. Now let's consider changing the level of output in the car industry. We'll use an estimate of demand for Rolls-Royce cars as P equals 100,000 Q minus 3Q squared, where Q is the number of cars per week. So MR is 100,000 minus 6Q. Now the current quantity is around 50 cars a week. So we can find the revenue received if output increases by, say, 5 cars. Marginal revenue equals 100,000 minus 30. 6Q here is 6 times 5 because we're assuming that we're going to change output by 5 units. So marginal revenue is 99,970. So producing 5 extra cars gives approximately 99,970 times 5, which is approximately £499,850. In terms of the diagram, the firm is producing left of Q star. We know that because marginal revenue is positive. Marginal revenue is greater than 0 in our case, and marginal revenue is only greater than 0 to the left of Q star. Now let's have a look at the level of output which maximizes revenue for the firm. Revenue maximization occurs where marginal revenue is 0. In our case, where 100,000 minus 6Q equals 0. So 6Q equals 100,000. Q equals 100,000 over 6. Q equals 16,666. They would be able to produce over 16,000 cars a week before revenue was maximized. This does not mean that they would be more profitable if they expanded their output, only that they would get more revenue. We can't tell if they would be more profitable without working out the extra cost of expanding output. So our calculus has enabled us to find out things about firms' revenue if we know the demand function.